right, control room, we hear you. We're on air. We are glad to be back. Charity, we hear you loud and clear. All right, this is our way of welcoming you back. Like we told you earlier, that a lot goes on before we come and you see us like this. So when things like that happen and you catch us laughing or frowning, just know that it is part of the production going on. All right, so back on the talking point segment on Salt FM and Salt Television. Don't mind me, you know we are dual. We do both radio and television. So, pardon me, this is Salt TV. We see Sunrise on Salt Television. So, today on the talking point segment, we are looking at from passion to impact, how Nigerian young entrepreneurs are feeling in the future, how they are feeling the future. And yesterday, if you recall, that yesterday, August 12th, was the International Youth Day, a celebration of young people who are not just the leaders of tomorrow, but the innovators of today. This year's theme, Local Youth Action for SDGs and Beyond, calls on us to recognize the ways youth are driving positive change right where they are. So joining me today on the program, joining me and Amaka to discuss about young people and what they are doing, how they are moving Nigeria forward. We are going to be having Chef Tobias Igwe. He is the CEO, Spilled Mills Nigerian Limited. Okay, looking at me, I still remember. So, and a brand is a homegrown brand that is making an impact, Nigeria and the world at large. Because if you visit their social media handle, you will agree with me that indeed, even though he's homegrown, he is beyond home, and how he's also impacting on youth. So, I want to especially welcome you to the program today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Yes, Amaka is just like wondering, after what happened on Saturday, what we saw during the training on Saturday, and she's like, wow, the turnout was awesome and all that. But having said that, you know that you are a young man who is creating wealth through food and its affiliates. Now, we want to know, as an entrepreneur, what are the days or what are the ways that you can personally create wealth as a young man? Okay.
Good morning, viewers. It's such a pleasure again to be here and to enjoy in these conversations. So, what are the ways we can create wealth as a young man, or we are creating wealth as young entrepreneurs? I think one of the key areas that I've focused on is doing legitimate business and acquiring skill acquisition. So the moment one acquires a skill, it has opened you up to both local and global opportunities. So, and now you begin to harness your talent. So you begin to harness your talent based on the skills that you have acquired, and then the opportunities, you are better equipped to take advantage of opportunities when they come up. Because one thing they always say that when the opportunity presents itself, but you are not prepared, then the opportunity is as good as gone. So it's being ready for the opportunity even before the opportunity comes. You must have tilled the ground and be ready waiting for the rain to come. You will not wait until rain comes before you start doing bush clearing and before you start tilling the land. So I think it's about preparedness.
So what, like a day like yesterday, that Youth Day that the world remembers, what does it mean to you as an entrepreneur, personally? Yes.
For me, yesterday, the International Youth Day, so I had to call my people back then in the office in Lagos, and we had an online meeting where we're talking about our impact, what we have done, and what we are doing again, because it takes an advantage position to inspire our fellow youths, people in our own cadre, and those still upcoming, growing up as well. We are like the good examples that they see, and we also need to project ourselves out there and make ourselves available for them to, be able to interact with us and also be able to learn one or two things from us, how we're able to do it. Because sometimes one of the key things that have helped me to grow are mentors, people who held my hands and tell me, oh, don't worry, because there's always this view when you meet with a mentor, they open your eyes and your bigger understanding to see things in a bigger perspective. So that role of mentoring is what I really emphasized on our meeting yesterday. We need to take that very seriously, mentor across board, you know, to also be an example and put ourselves out there so that we can give hope and encourage the next person close to us. We all have young people around us, but how do we carry them along? And again, being very honest and transparent with them and not trying to hide our source of our success from them. Because actually, if you check what is influencing crime now in Nigeria, it's noticed because a lot of young people are not open to disclose how they actually achieve success. You leave the rest younger want to start guessing. Maybe they did ritual. Maybe they are doing one crime. In fact, I was talking to a group of young men sometime last year, and one of them asked a question and said, sir, I know that nobody can ever make it in life if you do not do one crime or the other. Either you are a ritualist, either you are into robbery, or you are into scamming people. You must have committed, there's one crime that you do behind the scene that actually makes you to achieve success. And I'm like, nothing like that. So, and that's because those who succeeded are very secretive of their source, not even willing to share knowledge or even to disclose knowledge. And that leaves people to guess. And we try to bridge that gap by being very transparent and being open and being welcoming to our fellow young people.
Okay, so I'm going to be asking you a very specific question now. I liked that part when you said many young people now do not want to be open about their source of wealth. They make some of us who are actually working so hard be like we know they do anything. Because they just, so I just thought, and voila, money started coming. But you know, yesterday the theme for the Youth Day was local youth actions for the SDGs and beyond. Okay, and SDG Goal 8 is about decent work and economic growth. Would you share specifics about how you, as a young person in Nigeria, as a youth, how you in your work at Speed News is your goals towards decent work and economic growth for other young people such as yourself?
Oh, okay. Initially, when I started my business, we are basically strictly into corporate catering, commercial catering, we cater for companies and all. But we diversified the business into trainings about 15 years ago, where we focus on raising the next generation of chefs, the next generation of culinary experts. And what we are here to do, even do in Ebonyi State, is advancing that cause. We decided to bring it home. We felt that you don't have to travel all the way from Ebonyi State to Lagos because you want to get a better opportunity. We want to bring that same better opportunity down here. You don't have to go far. And that's the local action we are talking about. That's always what I always advocate is, once you achieve success in what you are doing, the greatest impact we can leave is the next person will be able to lift up. Because a candle loses nothing from lighting another candle. Sure. And what are we here to do? My greatest desire, my greatest goal, my greatest dream here is to light up 1,000 hearts. Imagine raising 1,000 people with 1,000 opportunities. And we can confidently beat our chest and say, these ones have been taken off the streets, and they will never have any cause to go back to it because we've shown them the paths and we've shown them what works and we've put them on that path. That is the local action we're talking about. So institutionalizing it is now having a strong base here, and that's what we're talking about, reviving the vocational college, equipping it to meet international standards, so that when we bring our expatriates, international facilitators and all, and partners, they will be able to find a home here to say, oh, I can be able to function here, I can be able to work here. Because you cannot use a bare hand to kill a lion. So you must arm yourself. And arming yourself is having an enabling environment and then having the tools, the work tools that you need. If you come to our place in Lagos, we're fully equipped. Every single thing you will find when you walk into a 5-star, exactly what you'll find in our own kitchen. And that's because anything worth doing is worth doing well. That's actually what I'm trying to say. That's a Vatican story. That's a Vatican story. So
all right. All right. So, as a young person doing business in Nigeria, what have you learned as an entrepreneur about resilience and patience? You know, especially as it has to do with leadership and getting to what's the set goals you have for yourself. What do you have to say about that resilient spirit and being patient, especially impacting it on the younger person?
Unfortunately, what we've discovered in our world today that young people of the generation after ours, they are so impatient. You know, when we started our business, when my dad did, my dad had a very strong, big influence on me, and the influence my dad had on me was he made us to believe that you go and fetch firewood. So you make money. If you make one, you make two, you make three, you make four. We never believed in Egombute. We never believed in that. That was never our philosophy then, growing up.
When you say Egombute, how do you interpret
means
that?
You go and, you know, any which way you pack the money at once, you grab the money at once. We never believed in that. It's never our philosophy growing up. Our philosophy was always, you will start something small, you will nurture it to grow. It's like, I'm a farmer. I plant, I do a lot of gardening and all of that. And I believe that when you plant a little seed, one key ingredient that seed requires is patience.
Oh, you grow gardens too?
Yes, I grow gardens
that
too.
Has become a recurrent thing because we had somebody who also talks so much about gardening. Go ahead. Yeah.
And because I do that, it's a way that it makes me understand that life is about patience and life needs to be nurtured. You nurture that which is precious to you. When I started my business, I started with literally nothing. I started with 50,000 left for my daddy's burial. I went easy to go and learn a skill on cake making. And for me to even to get my first order for a cake was the most difficult thing I did. And I had to go to church, go to children department, you know, and I have to give them little of my sample and tell them, go and give it to your parents, let them try it. And when the parents tried it, you know, give a cake to like 60 children, no how 5 will not come back to you and say, my mommy like the cake. Can you make my birthday cake and all of that? So we learned from that principle of 1. From counting 1, we count 2. From counting 2, we count 3. From there, we grow. We start getting recognition before we start winning awards. The first major grant we won was a $5 million grant from MTN in one of the telecommunication firm in 2013. And before we won the $5,000 from the Elumelu Foundation as well, and then plenty other ones that came along the way. If we had not started small, we will struggle to even have a story to tell because there's no story to tell. So that patience is key ingredient in starting and growing and nurturing that business. So, and it's something that has to be cultivated. That's why I talk about the role of mentoring. We must be there. Like, by God's grace, if we have a center here, it's easier for us to mentor the young people. Because they need mentor. They need someone they can always call in the midnight. They need someone they can come and sit down and pack them at the back and say, I went through it too. Nothing is happening. We will see the end of this. It's just a matter of time. Endure it. Don't worry. It's just like a woman that is pregnant. Meet another woman that have given birth to many children. No matter what that one is going through, once talking to that one that have given, you tell her, it's a normal since we feel it that way too. You'll be fine. That word, you'll be fine. You know, encourages the younger one now with the pregnancy that, she said I'll be fine. It's a normal thing. At least I'm not alone. That's feeling that. So we need to show them that they're not alone.
Okay, but what would you also show young people? Because quite a number of people, I do not want to talk about our certificates now, but quite a lot of young people are right there on the internet hearing about skill. In fact, virtually everyone now wants to go into tech, as if tech is the only skill that is out there. What do you tell a young man who is desperate about acquiring a skill and one who already has a skill but doesn't know how to turn the skill into a business?
Okay, one of the things that when I started my business, I had a mentor who told me that one thing is to be a good baker, the other is to understand the business side of baking. They are two different things. You can be a best chef, but you don't know the business side of chef. So it's the ability to understand the two that plays a key role. So when I started my own, so one of the things that helped me was those mentors that was beside me. That was one. The second thing that helped me was and I said, okay, now that I want to start this thing now, and now I have acquired this skill that I want to do now. So what do I do? Acquiring a skill, it has to be in your passion, in the area of passion, where you know that you flow naturally. That is one. I know a lot of young people now are carried away by trend. Oh, tech is trending. Let me follow the tide. It's not everybody that have patience or have head for tech. Tech is not easy. Tech is not, either which way you look at it, it's not easy. It takes a lot of hard work for you to even break even as a tech entrepreneur. And again, tech can be infused into so many things. Tech can be infused into so many things. Even in our own catering, in the hospitality industry now, we have infused tech into so many things that we do in so many ways. So tech is an enabler. What a tech enables something that's already existing.
Sure.
But when you don't have any foundation, anything existing already, what will the tech now enable? That's why some people use the tech for crime. Their tech is now enabling their crime. They call what they call Yahoo Yahoo and all of that, tech enabled. Now, those people, some are not using it, tech enabled training. Do you know some? I know a guy who met, who happens to be a friend of mine. He said all his children are homeschooled. He uses technology to train them at home, using, he uses curriculum of other countries and all of that, and he runs the training. It works. How was he able to do it using tech? So tech only enables what is already existing. So in areas that you find yourself, even in agriculture, you can infuse tech. Because one thing again is, after you even have cultivated your land and all of that, for you to be able to grow, to have access to a larger market, you need to involve tech in it and all of that. And that's one of the things we want to leverage. Imagine by the time we beam our searchlight on the vocational college, we bring over, as we beam the searchlight on tech on that college, you see the amount of success that that college alone is going to witness. And it is good for the Ebonyi State. It will drive tourism, because to enable tourism in Ebonyi State, we need to also bring attention to the state, and that's what will grow and boom our own tourism sector. Then the job creation as well. Tech can also enable job creation.
I like the fact that you talk, you still bring it back home to Ebonyi State. Everything you say is always bring it back home to Ebonyi State. Now, looking ahead, how do you see youth-led businesses shaping Nigerians' future, especially Ebonyi State, as it has to do with the food business and beyond?
Okay, like the hospitality sector now, one of the things we are trying to do now is we are trying to domesticate it here at home. We want to make Ebonyi State the craftsman's capital of Nigeria. When you are looking for craftsmen, you will come here and you will find them. Let's say, for instance, somebody is getting somebody to work to do a POP for a hotel. They say, where can you get the best POP guys? Many times they say, go to Cotonou, go to Togo. But instead of saying that, go to Ebonyi State, they have a very vibrant vocational college where guys are training. These guys are good. And it starts by getting a quality facilitator, for instance. A good teacher can breed a good student. That is one aspect that we don't pay attention to. Then the other thing how we can also bring it back home to our people is you can actually produce locally to sell globally. That's what tech have enabled us to do. You can actually produce locally to sell globally. A lady that makes the chef uniform that I tell her story, she got a contract to make just 1,000 pieces of uniform for 25 million. The hotel does not care. They don't want to know where you are producing it from. What they are after is what? Produce our uniforms and deliver it to us.
To specifications.
Yes. Who says that a tailor here in Abakaliki cannot make a uniform for hotels in Lagos and then package it, send it to get charter one of those transport companies, and the next they will put it here in the morning, it will get to them in the evening, and you will deliver it to them just that same day, or they will receive it the next. So these things are all possible. And the benefit of producing locally is that it reduces your cost of production. Some of us have family house. Some of us have land that we already cultivating and all of that. If you what they need now, where we are bridging the gap is access to market. Access to market. We are bridging that gap. We are that partner that will say, you know what, this thing you produce, the value chain in this can go to this, can go to this. Because some of these people, a lot of opportunities exist around us here as we are, but knowledge is limited. Knowledge is limited. And that's why we are trying to bring knowledge, expose our people to so much information, because information is power. When you arm our young people with so much information, you will see the level of creativity that these guys will unleash. Because I believe every man is born with something in them. You just need to find it to flame. And it's the opportunity that they need. And sometimes when these opportunities are lacking, you see them going into crime, going into to express that which is already inside of them. And that's really where I'm looking at it from. I feel that we cannot neglect our young people, because a lot is really going on now in Nigeria. And the earlier we hold our young people together, the better for us. If not,
I see you have quite a lot of passion for the young people. So I'd want to tap into your idea for the perfect environment for youth-led businesses in Ebonyi State. I don't want to talk about Nigeria. So if you were to design the perfect environment that would help youth businesses thrive in Ebonyi, what would that environment look like?
we need we create an ecosystem, a vibrant ecosystem, youth-led ecosystem. In that ecosystem, everything you need, you'll find. You need help in marketing, you'll find. You need help in sales, you'll find. You need help in production, you'll find. You need help in manufacturing, you'll find. It's just an ecosystem. Other cities that thrive, they thrive on vibrant ecosystem, youth-led ecosystems. In this ecosystem, you don't need to go far to look for solution. Oh, let's assume now a young man working, because my goal, my dream is to pick somebody from interior village, someone that have never seen the light of the day, you know, and make that person a global superstar in his own field, in his, maybe in a particular career that the person ever chose interest to be. And it only can be possible through a vibrant ecosystem. And that ecosystem drives on what? Opportunities. If you open someone up to an opportunity and offer assistance and support and help, you are holding their hands, hand-holding. That alone will lead to growth that we are all looking for locally here in Ebonyi State. So why it seems our young people are scattered and we seem to struggle in so many areas because there's no vibrant ecosystem. And government alone cannot do this. The private sector must be invited. The private sector must be allowed and must be involved in the process. And this is devoid of politics. This is if we want to see results. Because if it is good, it is good for everybody.
All right, talking about results, you had your training over the weekend. Has there been a fallout? Because I know that we had you here sometime last week and you talked about that building capacity, that training, that conference you had, and the turnout was something, because I know that me and Amaka, we promised that we're going to be there, and we're there to ensure that what you came here to say is actually what you did, and we saw for ourselves. Now, between that time, that period and now, and having looked at the challenges you faced before this time, is there any improvements as in the people you are talking to when it has to do with this vocational college thing you want to revive? Has there been any headway? Have you spoken to some of those commissioners again and gotten any reaction, either positive or negative?
Okay, so far, after the conference, I must thank you for coming for the Southeast Chef and Hospitality Conference. After that conference, there was a lot of fallout, a lot of appreciation. People sent me a lot of messages. You know, some people called me on phone crying. I said, they've never had it like this in Ebonyi State. This is a ray of hope that, you know, they've given up about this thing before, but this has rekindled the fire in them, really, to pursue for their career and then pursue for their lives. And that alone gave me a lot of joy. You know, it went on social media, people are saying a lot of nice, good things about the program and how it has impacted their life. Even to my surprise, some group of participants who came for the conference formed a prayer group. I was shocked. We didn't discuss it. They formed a prayer group, a midnight prayer group. They will call me by 1 a.m. say, we are a team praying for this. This will be a reality in this state. Oh, it has to happen. And that for me shows that it's no longer about me. What we came to do was to light up the heart of men, to see them what is possible. And we are very sincere and honest about this. It is never about myself. It's not about, there's no money that one will give to me that I will say, oh, this money now has enticed me now, I'm good to go, and abandon the mission. We cannot abandon ship. The greatest success and the greatest joy we have is to see these people achieving their dreams from here, lighting up those candles here, and then in turn we light up more hearts and create more opportunities for them. So people started prayers. Then we met some of the commissioners. In fact, one of the women went home and went to her husband, who happens to know one or two people that worked in the government, and told the husband that, as this matter is, I'm not going to sleep on this. You have to do something. You know more people than this place than this year. And you must. The guy called me, he called me the next day, he called me that night after the program, said, that he's sitting on this to make sure that this happens. He personally came to my hotel, took me to see the commissioner for, one of the commissioner for finance and different other commissioners. In fact, he was just taking me around the whole to say, this must work. You see this one? It must work. So that for me, it's beyond.
So as we wrap up, that's good to know that there is headway being made. But as we wrap up, just in a very brief sentence, what would you tell a young Nigerian now who is committed to chasing his dreams?
Stick to the gun. Don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. Don't look at what is happening. And please, stay away from anything crime. Anything crime, avoid it. Just keep your eyes on the ball. It may delay, but carry on. Just keep your eyes on it. persistence, and with so much persistence, resistance will give way. So just make sure that you keep an eye on it.
All right, this is where we are going to be pausing, because this is a story that we're going to follow to a logical conclusion. Chef Tobias Igwe, CEO, Speed Mills, Nigerian Limited.
It's all the same.
Okay, culinary. Culinary limited.
It's always a great joy. I must commend the team at Sunrise and Salt TV. You guys are doing an amazing job. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you.
I'm pretty impressed.
All right. Many thanks for being on the show today. I want to tell us that the change we want as youths begins with us. What do you want to see? What do you want your future to look like? It is you that have to start that change right where you are, in your bedroom, in your parlor, in your kitchen, wherever you want that change to occur. It's not always about what is the government doing for me, but what are you doing for yourself and also the government. By the way, who is government? Government is you and I. So let's be that change we want to see. My name is Laura Manze. Let's do it again next on Friday. I'm already thinking about weekend. Amaka.
Thank you so very much. I mean, Laura has said everything, but I'm still very concerned about the flooding in Afikpo. It has happened in Afikpo. It could happen anywhere else. Do your part. As you said, be the change you want to see. Do that which you can do and leave the rest for God. My name is Amaka. We'll see you on Friday.